Equipment doesn't make the artist, but it can help you transform your darkroom experience. This can help you make stunning prints faster than ever, saving you both time and money, and ultimately creating a more enjoyable, creative experience. So let's dive into some darkroom gear that can help you elevate your craft this year. Know this, we are at war with dust. Now, one of my more recent purchases to deal with the dust has been one of these guys here. It is a portable battery-powered blower and vacuum. I originally bought it for thinking it was smaller, so I bought it for my camera bag, but it's a little bit too big for that. So I ended up putting it in my darkroom. Now I do already have a compressed air line, let me show you that, coming in, and it's filtered as well to my darkroom. But what happened recently, I was dusting a negative and it's so high powered it actually ripped the negative, and it's the first time I've ever had anything like that happen. But anyway, and now I can't get this thing to even, for whatever reason, the compressor won't switch on and off, and I'm just sick of fixing things. So I put this in my darkroom and it works really, really good. And the cool thing is it's got a high, that's the eco. And it's got a high setting. So it's got a high and a low setting. So I really like it, and it's really nice for dusting off negatives. And I also use it to dry my reels. If I want to develop more negatives and the reels are still wet, I can blow them off and dry them that way too. And it's just been a really, really cool thing. And then it does have a vacuum attachment too. That's the AeroVac. There's several brands that make them. I will link this in the description below, but I've really been digging on this little thing. The little blower vacuum is the most expensive item on my list today, but we just can't let the dust win. We just can't. And that is why I would also recommend you get an anti-static brush. So the brushes that I use are from Kenetronics, and a while back I bought a bunch of these in different sizes, and I'm really glad I did because I haven't been able to find them for quite a while. But now I have done a little digging and I found a very similar quality brush on Amazon, so I'll link that in the description below for you. But the anti-static brush is going to go a long way in helping remove any tough, stubborn dust and removing any static charge from your equipment and negatives. Now that we've whooped dust's ass, let's get on to printing. Specifically, I'm talking about dodging and burning next. And what you're going to want to do is make yourself some dodging and burning tools. This is very cheap and easy to do. You want to make some dodging wands like these. Now, these are simply mat board, and what I would do is get a 32 by 40 sheet of either black with white core mat board or red with white core mat board. And then for one of the sections, you're going to cut out some small circles in different shapes to make some dodging wands. And the wand part of this is simply a bicycle spoke. So get yourself a pack of bicycle spokes, and then you can bend them up, and then you'll have some nice dodging wands. Now with the rest of that mat board, what you're going to do is just first cut it in 16 by 20s sections, so that'll give you 4 16 by 20 sections. And like I said, use part of it to make some stuff like this. And then the other, you'll have dodging and burning cards. And that's really all you need to make a nice set of tools to get you started. Next, I have ND filters. Now, some enlargers actually come with this feature built into the head. I feel that they all should, but a lot of them don't. But if you're in the market for buying an enlarger, this might be a major consideration. If you can find one that you can just dial in more density and dim down the light, that to me, that's a huge bonus. But if your enlarger does not have this feature, don't sweat it. Neither of the ones that I print with do. You can simply get yourself some ND gels and or filters. So what ND filters are going to allow you to do is dim down the amount of light hitting your actual paper. Therefore, you can lengthen the exposure time, which will make it easier to dodge and burn, and you'll have more time to work on manipulating the print. And the most important aspect of this is that you can keep your lens at its sharpest aperture and control the light amount using ND filters. Now, for instance, in this Bessler 23C, there's a filter drawer here And this is right below the lights, but far enough above the negative stage where it's not gonna focus on anything I put in here. So it's not gonna affect the quality of the optical part at all. It's just gonna dim down the light. So in here I have a piece of heat absorbing glass, and then right below or above that glass I put my ND filters, depending on how many I need, and I also put my variable contrast filter, depending on if I need it. And so I'll just slide those right over the top or the bottom. And then those are changing the color and the quality of the light far before the negative stage. A developer tray thermometer. If you don't know the temperature of your developer, it can make getting consistency from print to print difficult. But luckily it is really easy to measure and log and keep track of things over time to make sure you are getting that consistency. And what I do is I use this inexpensive little probe digital thermometer and then a little wire organizer grommet. The probe fits in there perfectly, and I can just stick that to the tray and it holds it in the developer, and I always know what temperature my developer is. So this one's super cheap, super easy, and it just makes getting consistency easier. Now, before we get on to the second half of this list, please do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button because I don't want you to miss future Darkroom videos. Anytime I can find something to make my space more efficient, I'm just all about it. This retractable drying line is just perfect for drying RC prints, even negatives. And what's cool is you can pull it out when you need it and it retracts and gets out of your way. You should probably get yourself a light table. They're really great for evaluating the sharpness, contrast, and exposure of your negatives. I really feel like every darkroom should have one of these along with a loupe. Technology's come a long way, and with LED lights, these have become really compact and affordable, especially compared to the ones we used to have to deal with. They were just huge boxes and they were super expensive to get anything of quality. All right, you can save a ton of money just by buying some simple chemicals and getting yourself a darkroom scale. Now, I would recommend one for larger weights like a kitchen scale, and then one for finer weights like a jeweler's scale. And you can get both of these super inexpensively these days just on Amazon. This is gonna make it quick and easy for you to mix up and dial in some formulas when you want to try them and use them. And some of these things aren't commercially available, and that's when it's really beneficial to start mixing your own. Now, if you want to find some of these formulas, I do have a simple to follow Darkroom formula ebook, and you can get that free in the description below. The next thing I'm going to recommend is a notebook, a logbook, or a log sheet. You have to start taking notes. You have to record what you've done if you want to improve from there. There will inevitably come a time when you've created the perfect print with the perfect tone and everything about it is just beautiful, but you didn't take any notes on it, and for the life of you, you can't reprint it. And it is the most frustrating thing ever. And if this hasn't happened to you already, I guarantee you it will. Have a good system in place for recording notes and exposure times and development and all these different things, because you want to do this as you go along. Because if you don't do it as you go along, trust me, you'll get to the end of a night and it will be 2 a.m. and your feet are gonna hurt, you're gonna be tired because you were in the darkroom for so long. And just cleaning up seems like some evil medieval torture at that time. And the last thing you're gonna wanna do is record notes. And you might not even remember what you did at that point. So just do it as you go along. I personally use the GoodNotes app and the log sheet that I created that allows my super unorganized brain and terrible work habits to get just a little bit more organized and on top of things.
Hey, are you brand new to darkroom printing? Or maybe your prints are not turning out, leaving you stuck, frustrated, and confused? Well, I've created a really simple solution to help you create great looking prints. This is a really easy to use print log and corresponding mini course to help you take your prints from mediocre and dull to glowing pieces of art. This quick mini course will take you from confused about where to begin to confident in your process. From unsure of the proper contrast to use to getting it dialed in fast. Ultimately, it will save you time, money, and paper. So let's get you from an unorganized mess.
Stop it. Get some help.
To having a proper organized workflow where you can track your results and make some real progress. Also, it's 100% risk-free, so if you are unsatisfied in any way, just let me know and I will gladly refund your money.
So the last item is the Perfect Test Strip Printer. Now I do make these, so this is a little bit of a shameless plug. The last couple have been actually, but that is because I want you to love the experience of the darkroom as much as I do. And if I can help you get better results from the time that you spend in your darkroom, then for me, that's mission accomplished. And I do think that the Perfect Test Strip Printer is a game changer in many, many ways. Unlike traditional test strips, the Perfect Test Strip Printer allows you to base your exposure off of specific key areas of your print. Being able to expose for a targeted highlight and then adjust your contrast for the shadows is really going to change the way you look at printing. So I really recommend you save some time and paper by making localized test strips the easy way with this little gem. So those are my top darkroom accessories for 2025 to make your time in the darkroom more enjoyable and productive. And if you found this video helpful, please leave me a note in the comment below, or if I missed anything that you thought should have been added to this, also leave that in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're gonna really love the next one right here.
A man may not be on the top of his form, but he can still make himself useful.